Welcome to the North Ridgeville City School Board meeting on April 24th, 2018. It is 6 p.m. I will call this meeting to order. If you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Ms. Getzi?
Here.
Ms. McCarthy?
Here.
Ms. Saxon?
Here.
Mr. Mira?
Here.
Mr. Baca?
Finalization of agenda.
There are no changes.
Approval of minutes. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the video transcribed meeting minutes from March 20, 2018. Further, it is recommended that a written summary of the special and regular minutes for the meetings on March 6, March 22, and March 20 be approved. Moved. Second. Moved by Mrs. Tamira, second by Mrs. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Getzi?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes. It takes us to education reports.
We have two reports. First is a little update on the summer school brochure, and I'll let Mr. Trent.
Sure. We have completed for your review the summer school brochure. Offerings are very similar to last year. The one significant change is we no longer have to offer OGT. OGT has for the last couple of years, but with that last year's grouping, the last year graduating under that, we were able to drop that program. Last year, just general numbers wise, we're still seeing about 120 students. That number has declined each of the last several years due to some changes to the high school has made with credit recovery and the Ranger Academy, but also the addition of moving to semester classes instead of full year classes. So that number has actually come down the last couple of years. So our plan is to offer two 3-week sessions again, starting in late June. We're going to house everything here at the Academic Center. That way our folks can get out and look at some of the summer projects in the other buildings, since there won't be quite so much to do there. So we look for approval for that.
And you said 120 students?
Yes.
That's grades K through 12?
Just grades K through 12, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions about that?
Are you offering any implementations for the area?
So all of our elementaries, our K through 5s are run as interventions. And then in third grade, we'll actually offer the summer testing as well for the third grade. In July, we will also offer it for the high school as well. So we will be offering state testing this summer.
Thank you, Mr. Britt.
Sure.
The second thing on the education report is our Ranger Strong initiative in the district. And tonight you'll see on the agenda a resolution to adopt the Ranger Strong as our positive behavior and intervention support program for the district. So that will be district-wide. And a lot of people won't be here when we go through that resolution, but I just wanted to read that resolution so everyone heard it, so they can see kind of what we're doing. If you want to, you can follow along on page 5 is the resolution. The North Ridgeville City School is committed to providing all students with a rigorous educational program which prepares them to be college and or career ready and productive members of society. All North Ridgeville City School students will attend schools with climates that the print's too small. The focus on safety, teaching, learning, and interpersonal relationships that enhance student learning and well-being. District-wide and school-wide positive behavior intervention and support fosters a culture of discipline grounded in positive behavior intervention. Positive behavior support is a systems approach for establishing the social culture and individualized behavioral supports needed for schools to achieve both social and academic success for all. It is based on research that indicates the most effective discipline systems use proactive strategies designed to prevent discipline problems. The district's adoption of the Ranger Strong initiative establishes a consistent framework for developing a culture of character development and constructive discipline built on positive behavior. Ranger Strong establishes guidelines for implementing and monitoring age-appropriate and culturally relevant expectations and interventions. In keeping with our district goals of ensuring student safety and nurturing learning environments, the Board of Education approves the adoption of Ranger Strong as the district positive behavior intervention and support system. A positive behavior and intervention support system is a district-wide systematic approach to embed evidence-based practices and data-driven decision-making to improve school climate and culture in order to achieve improved academic and social outcomes and increase learning for all students. A PBIS program encompasses a wide range of systemic and individualized positive strategies to reinforce desired behaviors, diminish recurrences of challenging behaviors, and teach appropriate behavior to students. So I just wanted people to hear that and know that we have had a group of teachers, and the Ranger Strong initiative has kind of grown from the bottom up from our teachers, and they have worked really hard to perfect what strong means and how that is implemented and accomplished across the district. So we're very proud of that and glad to adopt that as our positive behavior and intervention support system for the district. So thank you for listening to that.
That takes us to staff, student, and community recognition. And first on our list is Liberty.
Lisa Bacaitis and Jan Hartman from Liberty in the middle school. Academic.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa Bacaitis. I'm the NRAC Elementary physical education teacher. With me, we have Janet Hartman from. Janet Hartman from Liberty Elementary, and our representative from the American Heart Association, Carrie Clayton-Smith. Each year, the elementary schools here in North Ridgeville participate in a program called Hoops for Heart or Jump Rope for Heart. It's all both through the American Heart Association. And this is a community service project that we do with our students during our physical education time. And it helps bring awareness about heart health to not only our students, but to the community. And the students collect donations for the American Heart Association. Those funds go towards research and awareness and education for nationwide, not just in our own communities. And this year, NRAC Elementary and Liberty were able to participate in the programs this year, and we would like to present our giant check for a grand total of $21,126. To the North Ridgeville community and our students and their families for their generosity. And it seems to be year after year as well, just the generosity that comes out of our community to help out with the American Heart Association. And we're just very, very grateful that we have the parents' support to help with this program.
I just want to reiterate that this is a wonderful community that we live in, and it is great to see everyone with a generosity of giving to the American Heart Association and all the other things that you all do. And I just think it is wonderful that we have Ranger Strong students who are willing to go out and work to help for a good cause.
We do have a couple students that we would like to recognize, which are our top collectors from each of our grades. My fourth grade top collector was Miss Aaliyah Murgo. If she's here, come on up. Aaliyah collected $250. She was our top collector in fourth grade. And also from our third grade, also collecting $250, was Mr. Miles Marion. Come on up. Same with the ladies. There you go.
All right, at Liberty, we had, I didn't do by grade, but our top sellers, donator, fundraiser, was Avery Green. I believe I saw Avery back there. Come on up, Avery. I have a medal I'd like to put on for you, if I can get it open quickly. You get a medal for being the top fundraiser of over $700. That's a pin that you can wear. Okay, is Jameson here? Jameson Griffith? Okay, he was our second with $595. And Peyton Butcher, are you here, Peyton? Okay, she was third with $485. So, great job.
I just will take a couple seconds of your time. I can't say enough about these two teachers. Without volunteers like this, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we can do at the American Heart Association. But what's most important is we love to be able to get this messaging to your kids about heart health, and they like to spread the message too, as well as some of you parents might know. They'll come home and ask you to drink more water instead of sugary beverages and no smoking. So I want to thank you guys as a community. You've always been so supportive, and I look forward to working with you guys well into the future. So thank you. Thank you guys.
So the next group is our endowment funds committee, and we'll call Mr. Kevin Corcoran up. Our endowment fund each year gives grants to our teachers and quite a bit of money, so we're pretty excited about that.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kevin Corcoran. I'm the president of the North Ridgeville City Schools Endowment Fund. With me today is Vice President Darrell Edwards and Secretary Karen Edwards, and our board liaison is Marcy Saxon. There's, 15 board members altogether? Yep. All right. Our job here is to provide grants to the North Ridgeville City School staff and support personnel. We do that through 3 separate fund sources. We have our general fund, Fine Arts Fund, and the Shannon Edwards Memorial Fund. And over the past 27 years, the endowment funds have grown due to the generous contributions of businesses, North Ridgeville City Schools employees, parents, and private individuals. And the money that we obtain from all those different sources is used to enhance the educational experience of the North Ridgeville City School students. So whenever we can do that, we're always happy to do so. This year, our endowment funds are awarding $14,570 in grants to 52 selected applicants. I have plenty of names here in envelopes. So when I call you up, please come up, and we're going to take pictures too, so you're going to have to stand there for a little while. First up, we have Haley Bryson, and please excuse me if I butcher your name. Caitlin Carlo. Karen Schrift. Try to move this along. Okay. Stephanie Guardino. Stacy Quinn. Gretchen Herzberger. Christine Reese. Alyssa Rosetto. Margaret Barrett. Leslie Glace. Jennifer Detmar. Brandon Parsons. Francis Thornton. Julie McCauley. Some of these people will be back more than once. Melanie Knopf. Katie. Katie Swires. Ann Jarrell.
This is the general, right? So we'll do the fine art next.
Okay, those were all the award recipients from the general fund. I'll take one giant group picture with all this.
When we're all done with all of them, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. All right, from our Fine Arts Fund, we have Haley Bryson again. Kathleen Stalker Bailey. Jessica Grossman. Terry Percy. Megan Arnica. And Sarah Miller. Daryl and Karen will handle the Shannon Edwards Memorial Fund.
Okay, we're going to present for the Shannon Edwards Memorial Fund. I'll give you a little bit of background for it. This is our 17th year, and we are honored to be able to present grant awards from the Shannon Edwards Memorial Fund. This fund was established in 2001 to celebrate the rich but short life of our daughter, Shannon. Shannon passed away suddenly in March of that year. At the time, she was a 5th grade student at Wilcox Elementary School. Shannon's mom and I wanted to establish this memorial fund as a way to express our appreciation and gratitude to North Ridgeville City School District for their outstanding continuing response and support. In selecting recipients for the grant awards to be funded from the Shannon Edwards Memorial Fund, the endowment funds looks for proposals which would benefit students with special needs, enrichment programs like Cosmos, or would support programs and activities that Shannon might have enjoyed. It is our pleasure at this time to be able to present the grant awards to the teachers and staff who submitted those grant applications. Again, we will call your name, and if you or your representative present, we invite you to come up, receive your grant checks, and our thanks. And the first one is Andrea Vance. She has 2 that we have. We have Laura Jennings. Well, Gretchen, you can come. You're next. Yeah, but we actually for Gretchen Herzberg. Sherry Morris. Christine Reese. Actually, this one's Carla Ponte. No. Beth G. Mark Beamer, if I pronounce that right. Close enough. Jennifer Nemitz. Sarah Diabato.
I know.
Cheryl Munson. Antonia Romano. Excellent turnout tonight. Aaron Leeming. You busy? Becky Jane. And Jessica Darby, which I know is not going to be able to be here. And Julie McCauley. Then this concludes all the grants that we're issuing this year. So we're going to get a group picture of everybody, so any final comments?
I want to thank all the teachers for all the work that they do, support staff, administration, board, for giving us the opportunity to help out in this small way that we can. And it's just great to be part of this. Thank you.
Dr. Powell?
We have first our approval of our summer school brochure. So it's recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2018 summer school brochure.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, second by Mrs. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Our Ranger Strong PBIS program is recommended that the Board of Education approve the Ranger Strong Positive Behavior Intervention and Support Resolution as read earlier and listed below.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Saxon, second by Mrs. Tamira. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Thank you. That, move over to page 6, the superintendent's report. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda resolution as presented below. We'll start with employment recommendations. We'll go through this quickly. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the summer school coordinators as listed below. Part B, special project stipends, recommended that the Board of Education award special project stipends to the individuals listed below. And this is for these two people who have been the past summer school coordinators to help transition the new summer school coordinators. And then the second part of that is for with much appreciation, Adam Field helping out with the spring play. C, support staff substitutes. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the support staff substitute appointments listed below for the 17-18 school year. Takes us down to 2 leaves. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2 leaves that are listed below. Resignations. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the administrative staff resignations as listed below. Moves us over to page 8, reassignment of equipment. It is recommended that the Board of Education reassign the following obsolete, unusable equipment to an idle capacity. The equipment will be used for spare parts, may be resold, removed, or disposed of.
Moved. Second. Moved by Mrs. Tamira, second by Mrs. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Starting on page 10 with employment, adjustments to the administrative salary ranges, recommended that the Board of Education approve the adjustments to the salary ranges for the administrative positions, and that can be seen in exhibit number 1.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Mrs. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the decrease in a certified staff position, and this is the assistant principal intern position. The assistant principal, the intern position has been changed to an assistant principal position, which will be the next item.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Tamira, seconded by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Number 3, administrative staff position increase. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the increase of a 1.0 FTE administrative staff position of an assistant principal at the academic center, as this position was changed from the certified position that's listed above.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Support staff employment is recommended that the Board of Education approve the support staff appointment that's listed below, and that's for the summer school secretary.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Yetsey, seconded by Mr. Miller. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Page 11, administrative contracts. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the employment of the following administrators and authorize and direct the board president, superintendent, and treasurer to finalize the terms and conditions for the employment contracts of such administrators for review and approval of the board.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Mrs. Tamira. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
6 of support staff administrators. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the employment of the following support staff administrators and authorize and direct the board president, superintendent, and treasurer to finalize the terms and conditions for the employment contracts of such administrators for review and approval of the board.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, seconded by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Number 7, instructional staff continuing contract. It is recommended that the Board of Education grant continuing contracts to be effective with the start of the 2018-19 school year and notice of salary to the instructional staff that is listed below.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, seconded by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Instructional staff salary notices. It is recommended that the Board of Education award notice of salary for the 18-19 school year to the instructional staff listed below, presently employed on a continuing contract.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Yetsey, seconded by Mrs. Tamira. Takes us to page 16. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Number 9, instructional staff limited contracts. It is recommended that the Board of Education employ and grant 1-year limited contracts with notice of salary effective for the 18-19 school year to the instructional staff that is listed below.
Moved.
Second.
That
Takes
takes
us
us
to the bottom of page 19.
to 19.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Mrs. Tamira. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Page 20, top of page 20, number 10, intervention specialist tutor. It is recommended that the Board of Education employ and grant a 1-year limited contract with notice of salary be effective for the 18-19 school year to the intervention specialist tutor that is listed below.
Moved. Second. Moved by Ms. Yetsey, seconded by Ms. Saxon. Any discussion?
I'll note that that is for St. Peter's. That's
Okay.
the person employed for St. Peter's.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Healthcare associates and physical therapists. It is recommended that the Board of Education employ and grant 1-year limited contracts with notice of salary for healthcare associate schedule effective for the 18-19 school year to the healthcare associates and physical therapists listed below.
Second. Moved by Mrs. Tamira, seconded by Ms. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
For the administrative support staff with 1-year limited contracts, it's recommended that the Board of Education approve the employment of the following administrative support staff 1-year limited contracts and authorize and direct the board president, superintendent, treasurer to finalize the terms and conditions for the employment contracts for review and approval of the board.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Mr. Mura?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Page 2113, administrative support staff. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the employment of the following administrative support staff contracts and authorize and direct the board president, superintendent, and treasurer to finalize the terms and conditions for the employment contracts for review and approval of the board.
Moved.
Second?
Moved by Ms. Saxon, second by Mrs. Tamiro. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Number 14, support staff. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the levels and steps for support staff for the 18-19 contract purposes as listed below.
Moved.
Second?
That takes us to the top of page 27. It's moved by Ms. Yetsey, second by Mrs. Tamiro. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
We have two agreements. It is recommended that the Board of Education enter into contract agreements with the following. The first is for our agreements with the Lorraine County Educational Service Center. And the second one is for HR Connections to take a look and revise our job descriptions for us to recommend for us to approve.
Moved. Second?
Moved by Mrs. Tamiro, second by Ms. Yetsey. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Page 28, summer projects. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the proposed permanent improvement summer projects for the North Ridgeville City Schools for the estimated amount of $1.4 million. Improvements will include painting, concrete replacement, repair, bathroom partition replacement, repair, boiler replacement, security camera additions, electrical upgrades, asbestos abatement, door repair, roof restorations, carpet replacement, furniture replacement, entry point renovations, playground upgrades, rooftop replacements, air management upgrades, transportation shop equipment.
Second?
Moved by Ms. Yetsey, second by Mrs. Tamiro. Is there any discussion? It's a long list of items to get done this summer, and hopefully we can accomplish all of those. Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
The next few items are related to that summer school projects list that you will see above. First one is for the Trimco roof restoration. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve an agreement with Trimco Roofing as per OCEPC and AEPA per bid contract for roof restoration at the Ranger High Tech Academy building for the main roof and the gym roof and the early childhood learning community building.
Moved. Second. Moved by Ms. Yetsey, seconded by Ms. Saxon. Sorry. What was you again? I apologize. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Thank you. That takes us to the TDA bidding package. It is recommended that the Board of Education enter into an agreement with Design Architects to provide specifications and a bid package for the baseball field renovation project at the Ranger Athletic Complex.
Moved.
Second?
Moved by myself, second by Ms. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Number 4, this again is for a bid package. It is recommended that the Board of Education enter into an agreement with the TDA to provide specifications and a bid package to create secure entries at both Liberty Elementary and North Ridgeville High School.
Moved. Everybody wants to move that one. Can we put everybody on, should we list everybody as?
No.
No, sorry.
Just look.
I heard Ms. Saxon first, and second by Ms.
Second.
Tamir. Okay, can fight about it later. Any discussion? Just
Oh,
this
I
is
do
much
have-
needed.
yes.
Go ahead, please.
It says that the Board of Education enter into an agreement with Burgess and Medical Engineers.
Oh, yeah, that needs to be
Yeah, we'll remove that. It should be TDA.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Down by-
Underneath, under the,
Right there. Yeah, that should say TDA.
any other discussion?
I'd like to echo what you said too, that this is exciting, happy that this will be getting done.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon.
Yes.
Mr. Muir.
Yes.
Ms. Jensing.
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy.
Yes.
And now we have to approve the advertising part of those. So it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the advertising of the bids for the renovation of the secure entries at Liberty and North Ridgeville High School. Whereas we find it necessary to renovate the entry areas of Liberty and the high school to provide secure entrances. And whereas permanent improvement funds have been set aside to pay for this project. Now therefore be it resolved that the treasurer is hereby authorized and directed to advertise for bids for these projects.
Vote. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, second by Ms. Yetsey. Any discussion?
What's the timeline for the bids?
TA is finishing up drawings right now, and then once they do that and get that information to us, we'll be able to go out to bid probably another 2 or 3 weeks before we go out to bid for this.
And then what happens from that point?
From there, there's a 2-week bid window, where bids will be accepted, we'll have a bid opening after that 2-week window, which one will award the bids and set the schedule, with the understanding work to be completed between June 12th and mid-August.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira.
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey.
Yes.
Ms. Saxon.
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy.
Yes.
It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the advertising of the bids for the renovation of the baseball field at the Ranger Athletic Complex.
Moved.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, second by Ms. Tamira. Is there any discussion on this one? Roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon.
Yes.
Ms. Tamira.
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey.
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy.
Yes.
Next, go to page 30, acceptance of gifts. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gifts with much appreciation. $50 donated by the Hensley family to the North Ridgeville High School Band for the high school band to be used where needed. $333 donated by the Lions Club to the North Ridgeville Academic Center for the middle school band to be used where needed. $167 donated by the Lions Club to the North Ridgeville Academic Center for the middle school track team to be used where needed. Total donations received for the 17-18 school year, $25,391.41.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Tamira, second by Ms. Yetsey. I just have one correction under number 3. As a Lions Club member, I know that the purpose of that money was to fund shot put and discus needs for the middle school.
I want to say now how awesome Mr. Grigsby has been to donate his time to our track team and to put his efforts in building this.
And
Closet.
he's a Lions Club member.
He is, yes.
Mrs. McCarthy, can you share with the board what you shared with some of us
Yeah.
today about how those were selected?
So those two line items were from the Lions Club, came out of the Leo grants that we do through Spookville. And those $500 were set aside for the children of Lions Club members to determine where that money was going to be spent. So there were about 6 children, ages 6th grade to 8th grade, that got together, actually had a meeting, and discussed where they'd like to see that $500 spent and how they'd like to see it divided. And they were very 2/3, 1/3, kind of thing. And that's what we hope to foster through a Leo program here in the schools, should one ever be developed. But those kids, they did a really good job, and we wanted to have them here to present the checks, but our treasurer got a little bit zealous and delivered the checks directly to the middle schools, I believe it's the middle school, yeah. So But it was a good opportunity for those students to determine where the money went since they were part of raising it. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Madam President, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Lingo, Treasurer's Report.
The first item is the financial report and report of interest and investments for March. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the reports for March 2018.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Yetsey, second by Ms. Tamira. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Second is tax rates and amounts. It is recommended that the Board of Education adopt the resolution accepting the tax amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor as follows. Whereas the Board of Education, in accordance with the provisions of law, has previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2018. And whereas the Budget Commission of Lorraine County, Ohio has certified its action thereon to this board, together with an estimate by the county auditor of the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by the board, and what part thereof is without, and what part within the 10 mil tax limitation. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the North Ridgeville City School District, Lorraine County, Ohio, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted, and be it further resolved that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said school district the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation as follows, and that is attached as Exhibit 1. And be it further resolved that the treasurer of this board be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of this resolution for the county auditor of said county.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Yetsey, second by Ms. Tamira.
Carry each other.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes. And that takes us to additional business. We don't have any old items, but new business. Mr. Yoker?
Yeah, was asked to give an update on the public use of the outdoor track. So on May 1st, we will open the track to the public with some regulations in place, those being it will be open during non-school hours and when non-school related events are taking place. It will be closed from dusk till dawn, so our night custodian will lock the mandate up each night. The entry point into the stadium for the public will be the northwest corner by the community entry. There's a mandate that they can access the track that way. And we'll have signs posted that outline these rules and regulations as well by next Tuesday.
Will they have access to do bleachers as well if the people wanted to go, like do stairs?
They can
kind
do
of thing?
stairs, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, they'll have to.
Okay, so track and stairs. Thank you. Any announcements this evening? Okay. Hearing of public on new items. If anyone would like to speak about an item that was not on the agenda, now is your opportunity to do so. Got a quiet audience. Adjourn to executive session. It is recommended that the Board of Education enter an executive session to discuss appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of public employees, and matters related to negotiations of public employees.
Move. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, second by Ms. Yetsey. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes. Thank you all for hanging in there with us tonight, and have a good evening, everyone.